Osho on embracing uncertainty in personal growth. In a world where certainty reigns supreme, we often find ourselves striving for it, even when embracing uncertainty can be liberating and empowering. Let me tell you this, as I sit here reflecting on the profound wisdom of Osho, a sage who lived by the belief that true growth lies not in the absence of uncertainty, but in our ability to navigate through it. You might be wondering, how do we embrace uncertainty? Osho offers us a path that starts with understanding its nature and then learning to live with it. One of the most striking real-life examples of embracing uncertainty comes from the life of Osho himself. He was once asked about his own uncertainty and how he managed to lead a life of great spiritual depth despite facing numerous challenges and obstacles. In response, Osho shared a story from his early days. He had been invited to speak at a conference, but upon arriving, he realized he had forgotten his notes. This was a moment of profound uncertainty, yet instead of panicking, Osho decided to trust in the universe and let his spontaneous thoughts flow. The audience, initially bewildered, soon found themselves captivated by the depth and authenticity of his speech. What they witnessed was not just a man speaking, but a being who had mastered the art of living with uncertainty. Here's something you should know. Osho's ability to embrace uncertainty became the cornerstone of his teachings and inspired countless individuals to do the same. Embracing uncertainty is not just about handling unexpected events, but also about letting go of our rigid expectations and preconceived notions. As we grow, we tend to create a list of what should happen and what shouldn't, which often leads to stress and dissatisfaction. But Osho reminds us that these expectations are often unrealistic and limiting. When we allow ourselves to be open to all possibilities, we free ourselves from the burden of judgment and fear. Consider a personal anecdote. I used to have a fixed idea about my career path. I wanted to become a software engineer because I admired the logical problem-solving skills of those in the field. However, after graduating, I found myself in a marketing role, far removed from my initial aspirations. Initially, I felt lost and uncertain. But as I began to explore the world of marketing, I discovered a new realm of creativity and innovation. It was a challenging journey, but I learned to appreciate the beauty in uncertainty. Here's what you should understand. By embracing the unknown, we open ourselves up to new opportunities and possibilities that we might never have imagined. Another critical aspect of embracing uncertainty is the importance of curiosity. Osho believed that true growth comes from a thirst for knowledge and understanding, rather than a desire for control. He encouraged his followers to ask questions and seek answers, even if those answers were uncertain or unpredictable. This approach fosters a sense of exploration and discovery, allowing us to learn and adapt continuously. Let me tell you this, as a young entrepreneur, I faced numerous uncertainties in my business ventures. One of the biggest challenges was figuring out the right strategy for my startup. Instead of settling for a single solution, I embraced the idea of trying multiple approaches and iterating based on feedback. This process was fraught with uncertainty, but it taught me valuable lessons about resilience and adaptability. Here's something you should know. Embracing uncertainty is not just about accepting the unknown. It's also about actively seeking it out and using it as a catalyst for growth. Osho also emphasized the importance of detachment from outcomes. In a world where success is often measured by external validation, it can be easy to get caught up in the pursuit of results. But true freedom and happiness come from within, and they are not dependent on external factors. Detachment allows us to observe situations more objectively and make decisions based on our values and principles rather than our emotions. Reflecting on my own experiences, I recall a time when I was deeply invested in a project that seemed to be going well. However, as the deadline approached, the pressure to deliver increased, and I found myself becoming anxious and overwhelmed. It was at that moment that I remembered Osho's teachings on detachment. I took a step back, acknowledged my feelings, and reminded myself that the outcome was not entirely within my control. This shift in perspective allowed me to maintain my composure and focus on delivering the best possible work. Here's what you should understand. By detaching from outcomes, we can avoid getting stuck in the cycle of anxiety and disappointment, and instead enjoy the journey and the process of growth. Moreover, Osho's philosophy on embracing uncertainty is closely tied to the concept of nonviolence. He believed that violence, whether physical or emotional, stems from fear and the need for control. When we confront uncertainty with nonviolent approaches, we cultivate inner peace and strength. Nonviolence teaches us to respond to adversity with kindness and compassion, rather than anger and aggression. In today's fast-paced world, where conflicts seem to escalate daily, Osho's message is more relevant than ever. A personal example of this comes from a recent conflict I had with a colleague over a project deadline. Instead of reacting impulsively, I paused, took a deep breath, and reminded myself of the importance of nonviolence. We ended up having an honest conversation where we both expressed our concerns and found a compromise. This approach not only resolved the issue, but also strengthened our working relationship. Here's something you should know. By practicing nonviolence, we can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth and mutual understanding. Lastly, Osho's teachings on embracing uncertainty encourage us to live in the present moment. In a world where we often dwell on past regrets or anxiously anticipate future events, it can be challenging to stay grounded in the present. But by focusing on the here and now, we can tap into our deepest potential and experience true fulfillment. A poignant example of this is Osho's practice of mindfulness meditation. He taught that by cultivating awareness in each moment, we can break free from the chains of habitual thinking and live a more authentic life. Personally, I've found that incorporating mindfulness practices into my daily routine has significantly improved my mental clarity and overall well-being. Whether it's taking a few minutes to meditate or simply savoring a cup of tea, these moments of presence remind me to live fully in the present. Here's what you should understand. By living in the present, we can transcend the limitations of uncertainty and create a life filled with purpose and meaning. In conclusion, embracing uncertainty is not just a skill but a way of being. It requires courage, patience, and a willingness to let go of our attachments. As Osho so beautifully put it, uncertainty is the essence of life. By learning to navigate through uncertainty, we unlock our full potential and discover the richness of the unknown. So let us embrace this journey of self-discovery, one step at a time, and trust that with every uncertain moment, we are growing stronger and more resilient. Here's something you should do now. Take a moment to reflect on your current challenges and consider how you can approach them with a spirit of openness and curiosity. Embrace the uncertainty and watch as your growth unfolds before your eyes.